You know, when it comes to philanthropy, which is something that my family and I have been doing basically our whole lives, I grew up in the country in a very small town, and we didn't call it philanthropy back there. We called it being a good neighbor. When my dad made $14,000 a year and raised 4 kids, and we were one of the wealthier families, we thought we were good. And when the neighbors, you know, a mile down the road with 7 or 8 kids, and they didn't have food for Thanksgiving or Christmas or gifts, we made it for them and put together gifts, and I don't know how. And then we wrapped them, and then we took the car and we turned off the engine about a quarter of a mile from their house and drifted the car up, and then we snuck out of the car and put everything on their doorstep. That wasn't called philanthropy. It was called love. And so I say to you, what is love? Because I think we're at a time in the world where that is really the question. What is love? And I think it begins truly with forgiveness. Because for whatever your beliefs may be, whatever you call the God experience in your life and in your world, the higher power, the love of nature, the spiritual inclination, that is love. And that energetic feeling is that of self-forgiveness first. Because we must love ourselves. We must love ourselves to love another. And to love ourselves wholly and fully, we must forgive ourselves. We must forgive ourselves for even the unforgivable things that we have done. And by doing that, we must set down our shame. And we must understand that all of us have been shameful, and we have all been shamed. And we must earn our own self-forgiveness by facing ourselves, truly and genuinely. And then to forgive another, we must stand with them while they face their own shame. And then we must embrace them and allow them to love their failed humanity as we love our own failed humanity. There have been times in my life of tremendous trauma. And I begin to believe that the purpose of life itself is to understand our trauma, survive it, and teach others to do the same. This, for me, is really what philanthropy is. In my many years of being a field worker for HIV/AIDS, in the beginning I thought, I am going to find the cure for AIDS. I will get the money. I will do this thing. I was young, and I really thought, that Elizabeth Taylor, she got this thing going, and look at me. I'm gonna wrap it up. I was so young, and I totally fucked up my acting career and messed up what people thought about me and became this really eccentric, crazy woman who went around the world begging for money and crying and failing and messing up and hoping and studying in laboratories with scientists and going in orphanages with babies and children who had AIDS who were dying and mothers who were going to die before their children. And I saw the world. And I really learned what philanthropy meant. And it meant forgiving myself and forgiving others, because there were a lot of people to forgive while I did that 30-year journey. There were a lot of people who really needed a lot of fucking forgiveness. And let me tell you, it was really hard to forgive a lot of those motherfuckers. I've been on my knees a lot. And I will tell you that if you cannot forgive, you cannot serve. You must learn to forgive, and you must learn to give. And even if you push someone to the ground, you better learn how to get them back up again. And if even someone pushed you to the ground, you better reach out and put up your hand, and you better let that very same motherfucker pick you up. Because that is the way the world works. And if you think you are here to do anything else on this planet, you have not yet learned the meaning of love, the meaning of giving, and the meaning of philanthropy. And that is why I am your opening speaker. I will tell you for sure that not everybody has liked me, not everybody has loved me, and not everyone has forgiven me. But I stand here, not in my shame. I stand here in my love. And I love you. And I thank you. And I am on my knees to ask you to love me back, to love the person next to you. And so I would like you to turn to the person next to you. And I would like you to look at them. And even if you never met them, I would like you to forgive them and accept them and let them know it. Because that is your courageous act today. That is your act of philanthropy. Thank you. Goodbye.